Now, the Walk for MS has two goals: to celebrate those living with and overcoming MS.
And to raise money, lots of it, in an effort to get rid of multiple sclerosis.
Now, here to tell us more, Ian Kimmer with the National Multiple Sclerosis Society and our Scripps Radio colleague, Star 104.5. Chris Chapman, good to see both of you this morning. And Ian, good to see you again. Well, Chris, you're always here to help, and you do so many great things in the community. This is just another example of that. Ian, we've talked to you in the past. What makes Walk MS so special?
Well, I think it's just like you said. It's the once-a-year opportunity for the entire community around MS to come together. Family, friends, co-workers, colleagues. Obviously, it's a fundraising event. We want to raise all the money we can towards the research for a cure, but it's also a really excellent opportunity for people to get together, learn about living with MS, learn and network about ways to overcome the disease every day.
Well, I think people know what a walk looks like, but it's not just that. What else can people expect when they attend the event?
So a lot of different organizations that help make life easier for people living with MS come to the event. So we're lucky to have like an MS specialty clinic here in the Omaha area. Saunders Medical Center is going to be there. And a lot of different people like Mobility Motoring and others who do different services to help make life easier for those living with disabilities will be there. It's a great opportunity to learn about those resources that are available locally as well.
Multiple sclerosis affects a lot of people. Some you may not even know. Some it's mild. Others it's more severe. What is multiple sclerosis? How does it affect individuals?
So multiple sclerosis is a neurological condition that basically the easiest way to describe it is if you imagine an electrical grid as your neural network, it's the disintegration of the protectant around the wire on the electrical grid. And so it can affect people in all sorts of different ways, and it expresses itself. So some people you can look at and frankly you know that they have MS. They might be in a chair, they might not have a lot of body movement. Other people it's invisible. It might be a cognitive or a vision deficiency. There are so many different ways that it expresses itself, and that's one of the biggest challenges with MS. It's very uncertain, and it can be so different in the ways it manifests.
Yeah.
Chris, you have a personal connection to MS. Can you tell us about the connection and just basically the experience of forming a team and going through this with a team?
Sure. So my wife was diagnosed, Kim, back in 2008, and happened on a vacation. Her face started to go numb. She was a little worried about it. And we came back and went through a bunch of things. And, you know, it took a couple of months to really narrow it down as to what we needed to figure out. And then, so she's in that stage where you just wouldn't know. I mean, you guys know Kim. Yeah. She just, you know, every day she'd just walk around, you wouldn't know. So from there, she decided to really get involved. And then what she did was created a team when we lived in Minnesota, and it became one of the biggest teams in Minnesota, the Blue Crew. And from there, we moved down here and we started a team. And while our numbers are small, when it comes to, you know, those who are actually here, we have a lot of people who walk remotely. We hope to raise a lot of money.
And you do. You're the top team. Is he one of the top teams, or is he the top?
So as far as fundraising right now, Chris and Kim's team is the top team, and they were last year as well.
And it has a clever title.
It does. The name of your team?
No MSing around.
I love that.
What makes being part of this, you know, the top team so great? Because it's not just people from this area that are on your team.
Right.
Explain how that works.
Yeah, it is a regional team. I mean, my wife works for a corporate company, and they get behind this as well. She has satellite walkers who walk while we're walking here, and they help raise money. She puts together a calendar every year for people to donate. So she's doing virtual walking prior to even the walk happening. Yeah. So she does a lot of work ahead of time. And it's nice to have a whole community effort, and we want more. I mean, that's why we joined the Leadership Council for the MS Society here, because we really want to support MS in this community.
Well, let's talk about the money.
Yes.
Is it just basically raised strictly through fundraising, and the money that you do raise, where does it go?
Yeah, I mean, the money that the MS Society raises has been the catalyst to every major advance in the treatment of and toward a cure for MS. So it's critical, the funds that we raise. And it is all primarily individual fundraising. I mean, there are corporate partners and others, but it's people like Kim, Chris, and frankly, just people who may have a connection to MS. Who knows what? They raise $10, they raise $20, they raise $10,000. All of that money is critical towards the research that we are funding at the MS Society.
Yeah, and Ian, you're part of the National Multiple Sclerosis Society, but you know, and you do fundraising throughout the year for a number of different purposes, research, and then one of the other things, resources available for people with MS. How important are the resources, you know, locally and regionally for people battling MS?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things that we do at the MS Society, and credit all the volunteer leaders involved in this, is create opportunities for people to connect with each other. So we have connection groups, like these gatherings of people living with MS and their families that happen every single month. We do family getaway days. Really, it's the opportunity, because no one can really understand what it's like to live with MS except those living with MS. And so we create opportunities for people to get together and rely on one another. So it could be getting even rides to a doctor's appointment. It could be a chance just to share what the experience is like. It could be a chance to have a barbecue or a wellness day. It really depends on what the local community does, and we really just support a lot of volunteer leadership around the state.
If this is meaningful to somebody watching today, if they want to get involved, how do they find a team? Do they start their own team? What's the first step?
Well, it's very, very easy. I mean, you can start a team, you can join a team. I would encourage people just to come out, even if they want to have a great walk on a spring morning. We're going to have a great kids area. It's at Werner Park. It's a fantastic place to be. But they can go to walkms.org and start a team or register if they want, but they can also just show up on the day of, and we'll get them registered in just a minute.
We'll get that information up there. But I think, Chris, to your work, and I think we've noticed the local MS community here is pretty unique compared to the other parts of the country that have these chapters. What makes it so unique?
Well, I think, a lot of us here, we talk about the heartland. And we really see that with the MS Society, the community here, the people. We have connection groups that are growing by the day. And that's a really cool thing to see here, is that folks are actually coming together to not only talk about their MS, but to share their stories and to share treatment options. And the whole community is just wonderful here. And we encourage anyone who's watching, whether it be right now or later on today, to go ahead and contact the office, because there's so many options for people out there living with MS. You don't have to live alone with it. You can actually get some help.
That walk is coming up May 20th. Walkms.org is the website that you can go to, but go to that website now, because you've got about a month to get your team lined up and to get going in the walk.
Hey, Chris, if somebody signs up for your team or makes a donation, are you going to give them extra tips for winning the Great Purse giveaway?
Absolutely not.
Not.
Nice
well,
try,
it was worth
Kayla.
a shot, ladies. I
You
tried.
are just something else, you know that?
Go give away some purses, Ian. It's good to see you again.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.